Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Mike Chase here, back again with another Madden 24 franchise wish list. I already did one of these videos a little bit earlier this year, and I'm going to be doing a second one. Some things that I missed. Some of these aren't necessarily big features. Maybe these are just more, I would say, quality of life things that I think we need to see improved with franchise mode in Madden 24. So I don't think nothing like real major, like new features or anything like that. Like I said, just sort of quality of life things that really need to be addressed, I think, for Madden 24. So just to have a better franchise experience and sort of not have a repeat of the mess that we had this past year. And that's actually going to be the first thing we're going to get into here. Number one on this list, just improved mode stability in general. I think Madden 23 was just flat out embarrassing with all of the just core stability issues with franchise mode. If you remember, the draft glitch that would reset your franchise to the draft after you already went through the entire draft and the preseason. It would actually even reset you. If you even played a regular season game, you could play multiple weeks of your next season and it would just reset you all the way back to the draft. And you'd have to redo the draft again, redo cut days, redo those games again. You would have to do that all over again. And which was just terrible. It really hurt the mode. Again, you just couldn't even play your franchise. I've had multiple series because of that draft glitch sort of just ruined because of it. Can't see that in Madden 24. Just can't happen. Just can't happen. I mean, I don't think there's any other way to put it. It can't happen. And then really the ultimate, I think, spit in the face with Madden 23 franchise mode was your entire file could just end up being corrupted, gone, franchise just gone. That's it, just gone. It's just a corrupted file. That's it. You're done. Restart a new franchise, kid. Was kind of what happened. I mean, I know it seems like we ask for a lot here in the franchise community, but we shouldn't have to actually beg for the mode to just work. This was such a major issue. EA actually had to give discounts to people for Madden 24 as a make right. That's right. There are probably thousands of people who have already guaranteed a half off discount for Madden 24 because of how poorly franchise mode was sort of optimized or whatever. I mean, it was that bad that they had to do that. EA likes money, so the fact that they had to give up some money, essentially, I mean, people are still buying the game, but still, they had to give up some money, essentially, and as a make right for people, which is just kind of insane. I don't think we've ever seen anything like that before. So before anything else gets added to this mode, you have to make sure that we don't have a repeat of Madden 23 and we have a bunch of stability issues moving forward. Can't have it. Can't happen. Shouldn't have happened this year. Can't happen next year with Madden 24. Yeah. So number two here. This one is maybe a little out there potentially, but and I know some people might not think this is a big one, but either revamp the schedule generator or let us just fully customize the schedules. This is something I know that probably gets kind of overlooked, but it's been a minor issue now for a few years. You'll have when you play your first season, that's the actual NFL made schedule. Everything else after that is schedules that are made entirely by the game, and they're kind of bad. I mean, they don't make a lot of sense. You'll have schedules where you'll play your entire division within the first 2 months of the season. Schedules with 6-game road trips where you're just on the road, traveling across the country. The NFLPA would most likely complain about that. Let me just say, the NFLPA would be like, "Wait, what the hell? Why is this team playing 6 road games and they're traveling up to Seattle, and then back to Tampa, and then back to Denver, and then back to San Francisco, and then back to New York?" They were like, "What the hell is this?" Would never even happen under how the NFL does things. They just don't really they do take travel into account when they're putting together a schedule, and it feels like that's not something that really happens with however the schedules are generated in Madden right now. It just kind of feels really random. They just have sort of, what NFC team you're playing, what NFC division you're playing, what AFC division you're playing, and your own division and the other games they just have in there. They just sort of basically follow that baseline and just throw it out and like basically throw up a generated schedule. That's not really how it goes anymore. Recently, the NFL has put an emphasis on having those divisional games close out your season. That's what they want to have. They want to have that sort of fight for the divisions matter in the final weeks of the season. It's just, the Packers, as recent, the past 2 years, they played the Vikings, they played the Lions, and sometimes they play the Bears late in the season, constantly. Now, because those are the games that really matter for playoff seeding or who's going to win the division in general. We don't really see that in Madden currently. I'll talk about this. In the Seahawks franchise, in the second season, our Week 18 game wasn't against the Rams, wasn't against the Cardinals, wasn't against... Why am I forgetting the other... Why am I forgetting the other NFC West team? The Rams, the Cardinals, the 49ers, and the Seahawks. Right, okay. It wasn't against those other three teams. It was against the Cincinnati Bengals on the road in Cincinnati. That just wouldn't happen in today's NFL. It just wouldn't. So either fix how the schedules are generated or let us build them out ourselves so we can, we could do this in the NCAA games. You could build out your own schedule. So I don't see why this would be a big lift for Madden. Or maybe, and if we can't build out our own schedules, maybe the easier thing to do was just let us kind of look at the schedule and kind of maybe just re-roll it a few times, regenerate it a few times so we get something that looks a little bit more realistic and a little bit more in line with actually how the NFL does things. So that's something I'd like to see in Madden 24. Not the biggest thing, but I think it's something. And I think another issue that we've had here the past few years now is progressive fatigue. Either fix how it works or just remove this from the game. Madden 22 introduced progressive fatigue. It was introduced to franchise mode, and it's never really worked well. Because unless you really aren't paying attention, unless you're maybe a little kid who's just not really paying attention to stuff, it's pretty easy to actually just manage your players' fatigue levels throughout the entire season so you can get to the playoffs and your guys are basically not tired at all. I've gone to the playoffs and the fatigue levels is either at worst I've had it be 96% for my offense and defense. More often than that, it's 99%. So very, not hard to manage. Half pad starters one week, half pad backups the other week, and then you kind of switch around. Sometimes you might do split half pads, but for the most part, half pads, right? Maybe the first 2 weeks of the season, you try to get those full pad things in, but as you get nearer to the playoffs, you kind of don't try to do as many full pads. You do half pads, so they're fresh for the playoffs. The CPU, on the other hand, seems to just run the players into the ground. And by mid-season, you'll notice. Go throughout your franchise and look at guys. Week 9, 10, or 11, you'll notice linebackers constantly with their hands on their hips, kind of doing that, heavy breathing animation. So you'll kind of just notice eventually as you get later throughout a season, the games are going to get a lot easier because the other team is too tired. This is even worse in the playoffs. And I had to readjust the sliders to actually make up for the CPU being so tired. I had to do this in Seahawks franchise season 2, the NFC Championship game versus the Packers. I had to jack up the CPU sliders to make it a competitive game. We lost that game. And it was a good game, but I had to do that because I knew that if I just kind of kept it where it was, we were going to blow out the CPU because they get too tired. So once again, either fix this issue with the CPU going all Tom Coughlin, Bill Belichick. Even worse than those guys. Going just flat out, insane with it. And so either fix that or get rid of this feature, because unless something is done with this feature, I'll simply just be turning off progressive fatigue in Madden 24 in my franchise. I'm not going to deal with this issue of guys just being completely way too tired mid-season. Just not going to do it. Doesn't make the games as much fun to play. So, yeah. And this is not necessarily maybe a franchise thing, but I want the ability to turn off game day momentum and all of the effects of the game day momentum stuff. Like I said, I know this isn't exactly a franchise thing, but I'm putting it on this list anyways. It was a good idea in theory, But to me, this thing is kind of just a busted feature. Some things you do in the game don't affect the meter at all, like that much, like maybe getting a first down after you've been down a little bit, putting the ball in the first quarter, punting the ball in the first quarter will almost entirely flip it to like the CPU sides. And that's just it's just strange to me. And I think a lot of the effects are just kind of just goofy to me. To me, like, it feels like half the stadiums in the game, you won't have the kick meter, and it's like, just give me the goddamn kick meter. What are we doing? Just give me the kick meter and leave me alone. That's sort of my thing. Like leave me alone. I'm already playing your game. That's like driving me up the wall, and I'm gonna have an aneurysm one day because of Madden. The last thing I need is you like needling me with stuff like not seeing the kick meter, stuff like the away team will either drop or catch the ball better because you have momentum. That just doesn't make sense. That just seems like that sort of stuff just seems weird to me. Like, I don't get that. To me, that doesn't make sense. Maybe a solution would be for this sort of feature to be maybe a little bit more individual player based. You have all these sort of traits in the game. I don't know if you guys remember this. You had dynamic player performance. This was like in Madden 12. It was like kind of a cool feature. They eventually took it out, and once again, like a lot of things, they don't build on it, they don't expand on it. It gets introduced and it just kind of sits until, it's there for 2 years and then they take it out. I wouldn't be shocked if game day momentum is actually not even in Madden 24. Would not surprise me one bit. So if you want to keep game day momentum, that's fine, but give me the option to turn it off. Just please. So many people just want the option. Like, give me the option to turn it off. For me, it's kind of a pointless mechanic. Sorry, not sorry. And number 5 on this list, it's time to overhaul how we upgrade players in franchise. I've liked the upgrading whatever archetypes you want to upgrade. That gives you a chance at certain attributes being upgraded in each archetype. But honestly, I'm going to say it, man, I'm kind of tired of it, Just if I want to upgrade a guy's throw power, can I just upgrade his throw power, please? If I want to upgrade edge rusher's finesse moves, can I just upgrade his finesse moves straight up? Can I just upgrade that direct? I just want to upgrade finesse moves, man. Don't give me +4 pursuit. You know what I mean? Don't give me +4 zone coverage for my edge rusher. I just want to upgrade his edge rushing, please. Maybe let us upgrade the core attributes for players throughout the season instead, like things that are actually directly affecting players at each position. These can be different for every position. And then those secondary attributes that are also kind of important, maybe you can have those kind of go back to how it used to be in Madden and how it is in other franchises, where you kind of get those end of season attribute upgrades based on the actual performance throughout the season, I think, and based on maybe on your coaching staff. Maybe build that into the coaching staffs or the work they do on those secondary attributes throughout a season. Maybe some coaches you hire are better at helping players upgrade those attributes than other players, something like that. And more team building stuff, I think, would be really cool. Just something to to freshen up upgrading players. It's been the same now for a number of years, it feels like, what are we on, 6 years with this sort of kind of archetype feature and these sort of upgrades. So I think it's time to really upgrade this feature, change it up a little bit, freshen it up a little bit, and breathe some new life into it. I don't want it to end up being like, I would say, NBA 2K, where in 2K and maybe MLB The Show and other games where it's just kind of random on how guys' stuff gets upgraded, it feels like. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of actual player choice when it comes to these upgrades. It feels like it just kind of happens. And so I don't want that. This is one of the few things I actually think Madden actually does better than games like MLB The Show and NBA 2K, in my honest opinion. So that is going to do it for our list. 5 things that I like to see upgraded or included into Madden 24 franchise mode. Like I said, nothing that's I would say that would be massive. Nothing that's a back of the box feature. I don't know if you kids even know what that means when someone says back of the. You remember, you used to buy a physical copy of the video game. It came with a disc, and you would look at the back of the box, and they would like kind of tell you, "Hey, here's all what's in the game." Am I making myself sound old? I don't know, but either way, if you like this video, be sure to hit like, be sure to hit subscribe. More Madden 23 content coming up, and probably more Madden 24 content coming up. You know, it's about to be April, so yeah, I'm going to start talking more Madden 24 as we move forward here. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow the Twitter, follow the second channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.